So we're into April now. It's warming up a bit. Actually, we had some really nice warm days earlier in the week when it turned April. Today I finally can get out doing some mapping, but I think my hands might get cold. We'll see how long I can do, how well. I don't have a coat on. I think that's fine. It's just the hands holding the phone, tapping information or taking photos. Now the progress, I think maybe I've slowed down since I started this, because as you know, I was systematically going, I'm at the Cinderance Junction now, and kind of using Perth Road as a line. That's the road full of shops, as kind of doing south of that section by section. I got close to the town. I think that's enough to stop for now, and then it was ready to work my way back on the north side of Perth Road. Trouble is, maybe I got distracted. I was blaming the cold, but also I've really got into just updating shops, even ones I've added like a few weeks later. They're changing what they are or closing down. I did do some house numbers, kind of actually back more out of town on the other side of this junction. I don't know why, I just felt like doing something simple, and I think it was easy. I didn't think there would be much to talk to you about, but I am going to focus from this point and do kind of behind this house here, behind the shops. I think it's tricky. I don't think it's many houses. I don't think there's a lot there. I think I'm probably going to be using osmAnd just to record the GPX, and using photos for detail. Maybe I'll use some door, but we'll see. I think I'll more just take photos of, because there can be 5-10 things in a photo, get back to my computer and edit that with JOSM. But anyway, I'll go for a walk, see how long I last, and if there's some JOSM editing, I'll also probably show you that as well. So a lot of what I'm also doing is just checking, but this Ford's Lane is actually a path that goes from Perth Road, but also actually is a way out of the car park onto Hawk Hill. But this osmAnd is being a bit funny. It's not showing my GPX trace, but yeah, also I will get that on JOSM, and I'll be able to trace that road correctly. Church bells there, I didn't even know. I find all sorts of things. I didn't know there was an active church there, but the bells obviously ringing. Nice little garden. I wonder if that's some kind of garden of public interest. Can't really see that it's public, I don't know what. No name. But there's a couple of benches and cycle parking, so I guess I could quickly go to every door. And so other cycle parking's already there. 4 stands, so that's 8 capacity. Yeah, that's done. And they're not covered. That's useful to know around here. So I suppose there's a kind of bench here. Bench, no backrest, no armourance, and it's wood. And then there's also one around the corner, and it keeps those answers. That path is correctly on there that I see. And this is interesting because You'll be able to see that there's different ways to get to those houses. Makes clear that's parking at the back of the police station. Just wander around. So I could use every door for the house numbers. A bit tricky. House mode. It's not really a house. It's not really apartments, not flats. It's 28 Pennycook Lane. But where the door is, it's more important for finding this. And that one's 23. Okay. And there's a path here. Don't actually know if this is just going to gardens. I think that's on there. There's some flats here. So this is 20 to 21. So if I add that there, to 21 Pennycook Lane, or yeah, possibly. Okay. It's interesting. I'm going to take a photo. It says the far assembly point is Pennycook Court main gate. So the building might be Pennycook Court, and then there's a way up. Just different housing perhaps. So that's 16 to 19. But we can stay on house mode and we can get it in straight away. 16 to 19. I believe it's still Pennycook Lane. Yep. Maybe Pennycook Court is just a secondary name of the building, or it might be a retirement home. There's a whole sign here, so it does seem that is the main reception. We go down these rather steep steps, but there is that too. So that seems to be more complicated. I'm just going to take a photo and decide, because there's not clear numbers. I suppose what I could do on here is add an entrance. So it's kind of there. I'm not sure that these building outlines are perfect. And wheelchair, yes. I don't know, maybe I think that adds an entrance and doesn't need to be an entrance. In fact, here we go. 16 to 20 Pennycook Court. I'll just edit that all when I get onto JOSM and note the path. Check, have I missed anything but not walking along the road? No, there's no doors actually on the road. So you can see I went in and added some house numbers. I was tempted and I used a bit every door because that just adds it to OpenStreetMap straight away. There's no delay. Also means people can see this as maps, so they don't come here themselves, only for me to edit at home. But it's sometimes easier to take lots of photos and figure out that data later on. And also it's going to be easier to tidy up. I think the building and maybe the footpath I went round needs to be named as Pennycook Court, and then I can give that as a street name. So bit unclear and confusing how we do it. But anyway, I'll walk onto Perth Road now and see what the next side street is. But I think I'm going to just focus, see how much I can get done, and then maybe chat to you in a bit when I find something interesting, or maybe back on my computer with JOSM. Okay, so I've opened JOSM, the Java OpenStreetMap editor, and this is just a program. You download a file and run it on your computer. I've copied some files from my phone that so osmAnd recorded this GPX file, which I've opened up. And if we go imagery, being aerial imagery, we'll see, yep, and that's the Cinderan's junction, and see a few bits here. Can then right click on the GPX track and click import images, and this is the folder of all the images I took while on this mapping trip with just my phone camera. So press 1 Control A to select them all and open, and it asks me to correlate them. Normally this number under here is a bit better, but we can click here. I think it's probably got confused by daylight savings. That was 1357. Yeah, there we go. So I just had to use daylight savings, and it's got there. And so that's because the phone has a clock and it saves the images at the time. And the GPX trace that was recording where I was, you can see it's now got a little camera icon. So if we click one, it opens up this picture at the side, and we can see that photo was taken there. Not interested in notes on this, and validation comes later. Next thing to do is kind of zoom into the area we want and click the big download button. So yeah, that should cover everywhere we are. We can actually make it a bit smaller just by clicking and dragging, because I didn't go any further than that. And I want most of all the OpenStreetMap data. I don't think any notes are in this area. Raw GPS can sometimes be helpful. You see this is all the OpenStreetMap data, similar to the other editors. So that sign I just wanted to use so I can click the parking and add the name. Plain car park. We can operator Dundee City Council. It's interesting because it's free for a bit and then pay. I'm sure there's tags that I could add to add all that information in, but I won't do that. This is the footpath that was on there, so I didn't think that was mapped, but I guess maybe osmAnd was out of date. I don't know what didn't show on every door. I did want to check. There's a few things here. That advertising column's actually there, and oh yeah, that crossing got added for that. So yeah, you can see exactly where I walk. So if the pink line didn't line up, we could move that. And we can click right to see where else photos we took. I can try and make this a bit bigger, and we can see here this seemed to be a garden here. Leisure equals garden. If anyone knows the name of that nice little planted garden, they can come back and add the name, maybe say if it's
public or private. We can align those benches a bit more. We could also say there's this path kind of cuts across here. Okay, and the bicycle stands are more like that. Highway service, so you do have to know the correct tags when using JOSM, but you get used to them, or you maybe learn them from other tools. What's also helpful with this imagery is to find somewhere where I perhaps walked both sides of the road. It's not a clear place, clear like this. And you can go imagery offset and figure out exactly where I was. And that you just use the left click to move it into place. And then just give it a name, and that means things line up. So doing this, the path does go around there. Would have got a bit confused because beside the tall building it doesn't quite know where to go. And I also need to take some memories here. So I don't think this building's been mapped completely right. And so we can select these, I click that entrance, hold down Control and click the other two, and I can change that to Pennycook Court, and that changes all three. But if I select these 2 points, these nodes, press P to split it, I can then change this to steps. So any navigation that's avoiding steps could go that longer way around. and gonna put butterfly effect holistics. Normally that's some kind of business or shop, I suppose. Normally I will go on the wiki if I don't know what tags to use, and so this has a long list, but I don't really know what butterfly holistics is. Butterfly effect therapy. So yeah, is there a page on therapy? There's healthcare. Yeah, I suppose we could do butterfly effect therapy. Was it .co.uk? I guess it's a kind of massage. Actually, massage might be more correct. So shop equals massage is, I think, exactly what we want. So we can put contact website as that, and we can put shop equals massage. And there's some other tags. What types of effects done? Well, it didn't advertise that on the door, so I won't add that. Okay, anyway, and I suppose I could put entrance yes as the clear way into that, and then add this here, highway service. It's interesting, someone's drawn a lot of the buildings in Dundee. It does make it tricky to correct them. So I have to do some adding the detail in there, shifting that one up. So that's really helpful because I just about got this. My tactic was lots of photos for here. And we can go address unit name is 4, but again don't know what kind of shop that is. They don't have a website, and the unit numbers are so confusing here. So we've got 1, we can put the node there and then just Control Shift and V copies all the tags but not the item. So where you can print on specific things, not to be confused with coffee shop. So possibly a bit of both. I'm going to go with shop equals printing. Okay, and then we finish by pressing upload. It always has things, warnings. So residential highway, yeah, maybe that's part of Rye Hill Lane. It wasn't clear, it doesn't have its own name. Now this might be because I'm being quite detailed, or no, in this case I just need to S to select that, A to move, and click it there. Does help. This one, nope, it ends near that footpath, but didn't connect there. Equally that one ends near here, but I suppose I could put a barrier wall to make that clearer, because there was a wall there and a bit of a drop. And this one was the same, they don't actually connect, the only way out is going back here or through that bit. So upload, we're ignoring those two. And then added detail around High Hill Lane. And I'd like to go to settings and add an extra tag for the change set, which was when I actually did the surveying, because it's now the day after, and so you can, if you're interested, you can see how much delay there was. If anyone complains about when I change something, it might be if I took a week to edit it. Upload changes, and that will appear on OpenStreetMap. So there we go, some editing out in the field, so to speak, but also at home on JOSM on my computer. I'll show you the before and afters. It updates within 3 minutes or so of me uploading on JOSM, the main OpenStreetMap website. I don't think there's a lot to change, because I did a lot through every door, which had already changed it by the time I got home. But I'll show you those changes. And JOSM, it's more complicated, but if you're used to using different software, it's not that tricky. And little by little, it is fun to zoom out and see where I'm adding the detail, not just house numbers, not just building outlines, but all sorts of different detail that makes OpenStreetMap more valuable. And if I missed anything, or if there's something that interests other people, they can easily go and add in those bits without doing all the others. So I'll keep going, and hopefully we'll get down to cover more parts of Dundee.